All right, so I am back for another recipe. I've realized that I've been doing a lot of pasta dishes lately, and I've yet to post a video of making garlic bread. Um, so I have the ingredients laid out here in front of me. I'm going to do two garlic breads today. I'm going to do half of this is going to be basically what I consider just a regular garlic bread, and then the next one is going to be a garlic bread. It's not a bruschetta, but it's almost a bruschetta, but not quite because it doesn't have the balsamic on it. So this is what we're going to do today, and we'll run through the ingredients real quick. Now I got a loaf of French bread. You use Italian bread. You can use whatever kind of bread you want for this. So we got a loaf of French bread. I got some butter. I got some parmigiano reggiano. I've got a little Italian seasoning here. Fresh chopped parsley, fresh mozzarella that was grated just a little bit ago, fresh tomatoes, and some really minced up garlic, probably about 6 cloves of garlic. And I have some basil over here with some olive oil. So I'm going to push these ingredients aside, and I'm gonna get making this garlic bread. It's everybody makes these garlic breads different, so bear with me if it's not the way you make it. Maybe try this. If it is the way you make it, then you already know how it is. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to cut this loaf of bread. Now you can cut it this way, you can stand it up, you can cut it this way if you want to get directly down the center. Sometimes eye-wise it's a little bit better, so I will cut it this way just to show you. And then we just open it up, and we'll just finish cutting through the rest of it just like this. Okay, perfect. All right, it does get a little messy. There is bread crumbs and stuff like that all over the place. Okay, so we have our two, let me turn this one this way for you. Okay, so we have our 2 pieces of bread here. Now, we do use quite a bit of butter. There's a lot of different ways to do this. You can do your butter through, sorry about that, I had to get my moppine here. I can't cook without a moppine. So first what we're going to do is we're going to throw down a pretty generous layer of butter. Now I do see Italian bread or garlic bread made where you melt the butter with the garlic. You can do that too. You can put your garlic through a press if you want to. It'll make it a little bit more creamier. So that's about, right here is about how much butter I put on. Probably for the 2 loaves, I'm probably almost using a stick of butter. Some people might think that's a lot. This is not a calorie thing, just so you know. You're not saving a lot of calories here. So yeah, that was about it. That was almost a stick of butter. And I have my oven preheated to 400 degrees. So I think with this particular recipe, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of double bake these. I'm going to put this in because I have 2 different things going on. So I'm going to put these both in the same time, but yank one and then finish the other one off in the oven. We'll see how it goes. Here's my olive oil. I'm only drizzling just a little bit of olive oil on it. Not much. We're not soaking this down. Just like this. Okay. So that's that on that one. So we got the olive oil, the butter on it. Then I'm going to take my garlic. It's very fine minced, and we're just going to do this kind of thing. Now, I got it chopped really small, minced very small, because I don't want to bite into a huge piece of garlic. Now, I'm dressing these the same to start, because that's just how this is gonna play out here. Okay, so then I'm just gonna take a little bit of parsley, just like this. And it's not a super hot oven. It is 400 degrees, so I will keep my eye on it. So then on the other one here, so this is going to be your basic garlic bread, the first one here. So that's your basic garlic bread. The one that's going to get a little bit more fancier, it's got maybe, you know, a little bit more cheese on it and stuff like that. We're going to give it a little Italian seasoning. You don't have to get crazy with the season. It's just for a little bit of flavor. And then that second one is also going to get a little bit of basil leaves. Just like that. Okay. And then they're both going to get some parmigiano reggiano. So I'm going to top both of these off with some parmigiano reggiano. And if you do an ingredient backwards, that's fine. That's not really a big deal because it's all going to cook down about the same. All right, so all I'm going to do is just put just a tiny bit of parsley on this one, just like that. Okay, and then in the oven these go. Now, so far these are almost identical. The only difference is that the first one here doesn't have basil and Italian seasoning on it. So I'm going to just kind of move this up a little bit, and here I have a foiled pan, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the edge off here on this side. No other reason I'm doing this besides just so it fits in my pan. And I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do the same with this one over here. Just take the ends off, which in my family we would call these the cagouts, right? I always remember my grandmother having a pot of sauce and meatballs on the stove constantly every time we walked in the house, pretty much. And she would always say, "Don't touch the cagouts, they're for your grandfather." And then he would just dunk them in the sauce and go sit back down. So anyways, little Italian story there. So anyways, I got a pre-foiled pan, and I'm just going to place these on this sheet, and we're going to put these in the oven. I'm going to bake these off for probably about 7 minutes, just until the butter melts down inside and all the ingredients just kind of soak into the bread. So we're going to do like probably 7 minutes, and then I'm going to pull them. So off to the oven we go. Okay, so now these are gonna hit a 400-degree oven for, like I said, about 7 minutes. I'll set a timer on that too, and I will see that in 7 minutes. Okay, so the first part of the round of this is done, and this was in for about 9 minutes. So I'm gonna take this out now, and it's not done yet, but we're gonna take it out. We're gonna put it up on here, and then we're going to dress the second one. So I'll be right back and show you exactly how I do that. Okay, so I'm just going to add the ingredients to our second one here. This is the original garlic bread, and this is the kind of more fancier one. But so what we're going to do right now is we're going to add just a little bit of tomato. And you could do this in whatever order you want to. If you want to put the cheese down first, then tomato, that's fine. It's all in how you like it. I say in all my recipes, it's really about how you want it. So, and then we're going to put a little bit of mozzarella cheese on it. And then this is only going to go back in the oven long enough to melt the cheese. All right, so the bread's pretty much done at this point. So what we're doing is melting cheese, and we're making it a little crispy. Okay, that's the only reason why I'm doing this part right here. So okay, so make sure you put enough cheese on it. Make sure you get all the way to the edges. I hate biting into garlic bread and the cheese isn't at the edge. Every single piece, as far as I'm concerned, should be edible like any other piece that you have here. So we try to get right to the edge, just like that. Okay, so this one here is going to brown a little bit more, and this one here is going to have the cheese melted on it with the tomato. We can actually, if you want to, you can put a little bit more tomato on it. So when that cheese melts, you'll see the tomato. So again, it's like a little presentation thing. Okay, so we're going to leave it just like that. And these are going to go back in the oven for probably another, I'd say probably 5 minutes, 5 or 7 minutes until this one, the cheese is melted on it. So I'll be right back with you. So in the oven they go for until the cheese is melted. We'll keep an eye on it. I'm going to say probably 5 minutes or better. And there we go. And when this comes out, this is going to be fantastic. So see you in a couple seconds. Okay, so the garlic bread is done at this point. Now, I did turn the broiler on a little bit. That's how I got the cheese to become all bubbly and melted like that, and a little crispy. So that's it. I'm going to let this cool down for a little bit before I slice it, and we'll show you how I plate this up once again. But yeah, there's the garlic bread. We're going to let it sit for probably about 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to take it over on the cutting board. I'm going to cut that up, put that on a plate, and this recipe is done. So I'll be right back with you guys in just a few minutes. Ready to cut this garlic bread up, and we're gonna start plating this. I let this cool for probably about 5 minutes, just so I can actually touch it. But if you see it in the middle here, it's all nice and soft, but there's a little crisp on the top, and then it's nice and crispy as well. All right, so we're gonna just cut this up and we're gonna start plating this. I cut my garlic bread on a bias like this, just like that, just so it looks, maybe a little bit more fancier when you plate it, or if you're having dinner, whatever. Okay, so there's the first one. I'm just going to move this off camera, and I'm going to just grab the other one here, and we're going to do the same with that. This absolutely looks delicious. They both look delicious, actually. So once again, we're going on a bias with this. Now you can drizzle a little bit of olive oil at this time if you want to. That's totally up to you. Okay, so all right, so we got all this done. I'll be back with you in 1 second, and we'll get this plate. I'm going to clean my mess up here. I hate when it's messy. So I'm going to be right back in a minute after I clean up. So I'm ready to plate this garlic bread. So nothing fancy here, nothing. We're just going to put a couple of pieces of each on here, and then we'll be done. So okay, so there you have it. There is the garlic bread with your regular garlic bread, and here is the other garlic bread with tomato and mozzarella. And if you want to, you can just freshen it up just a little bit. You put a little garnish around it, just like this. Okay, and that's it. That's how we do it. So here you go. If you guys make this, I hope you enjoy it. You can have this with anything. Ravioli, spaghetti and oil, manicotti, stuffed shells, whatever, it's your choice. Any pasta dish, you can absolutely do this. It's not hard. You've seen me how I did it. Everything is super simple. So there you have it. If you like this video, you can subscribe, like, and share it if you want to. Questions and comments are always welcome. But I hope you guys enjoy this, and this is our garlic bread. Okay, everybody, I will see you in the next video. Have a great day.